again.
Sir, Neeraj also present, sir.
Okay. Okay. So here it is. What is this private IP address? Simple to know, very simple to know is, guys, I have an organization or maybe in my home. In my organization, I have a computers or a devices like printers are there. I want to communicate inside this LAN only. I know don't require to communicate anything google.com or facebook.com or anything. Simply I want to communicate within the organization only. Okay. So I don't need to buy any IP address for this one, right? I don't require to communicate outside of the organization. So I can communicate from here to here directly. But what IP address I have to configure? You want to use an IP address, you have to purchase. So that internet authorities like IANA, ICANN is designed, they reserve certain IP address ranges from class A, class B, and class C. They reserve certain IP address ranges for a private communication. Means within the LAN, you can communicate with your private IP. So you need to buy any license to use the IP address. Anybody can use within that range only. What is that range? Is from class A. It is 10 series. It's a 10.0.0.0 to 10.255.255.255. It's only one single network. So why should I use this particular network? For example, in my private network, I have a more than where it is I have written more than 65,000 systems are there. So I have to go to class A only. There it is very useful. Okay. So I configured class C. So 10 series. I am configured to each and 10.0.0.1, 10.0.0.2 like that I will configure. Next one is class B. Class B is 172.16.0.0 to 172.31.255.255. So here it is. So entirely 10 series means 10 is one single network. It is. Where it is changes in network 172.16. This is one network. Another network is 172.17. So totally 16 networks are reserved for the private communication. 172 18th network. It is the class B. Each network you will get a 65,534 IP address. So what is the last reserved for private? It is 31. So 19, 20, 21, 22 up to 31 you can use it. 172 not changing, but the network in this part of network ID only change. Network part is only changing. That is in a class B. Totally 16 networks are reserved for this private communication. So you don't need to take any license for this. No need to pay for private IP addresses. But it is non-routable in public network. So even though you have some internet connection, but you cannot communicate with your IP address. For example, you have a web server inside your private network. Okay, someone in outside, people cannot able to communicate without public IP address. So with the private IP, you can't communicate, you can't get communicated also. Next one is class C. In a class C, what are the IP addresses are reserved? So it is 192.168. series. Okay. So it starts with like 192.168. This is not changing, but this part is also network part because class C network part. So in this network part change is 0, 1, 2, 3 up to 255. Totally 256 networks are reserved for a private communication from class C. These are same 192, 168, 1.0 network, 2.0 network, 192, 168, 2.0 network, 192.168.3.0 network. It keep goes up to 254.0 networks. Totally 256 networks are reserved for a private communications. You cannot access public network, means internet with the private IP directly. Of course, if you check your IP address, okay, if you are check your IP address for your laptop, you check your IP address is showing 192.168. Some 1.24. So this is private IP. Your laptop is having private IP, but still you can able to access internet. You can open google.com, facebook.com. How it is possible? Because you are not directly connected to any public IP. So there is a router, right? You're sending your packet to your router. 1 second, guys. I am getting a call. Tell me. Okay, sorry, guys. Little. Okay, so how can we connect it? How we can able to connect to internet? How we are actually connecting? So our system is connected to our Wi-Fi router. the Wi-Fi router, the modem thing is connected to ISP. This ISP will take care of your public communication. Up to here, you are in the private network only. But once this you reach the router to open a google.com, facebook.com, so your router will direct you to ISP. So ISP will verify so where you want to go. So it will send your packet with a different public IP address. Okay. If you check in a simple, go to your Google browser. What is my IP address? If you type like this, it will show your public IP address. Because outside of network like google.com, facebook.com does not know your configured this IP address. They don't know. What they know the this public IP address, not a your own private IP address. Okay. So we cannot access public network with a or direct private IP. So we have to access through public IP address only. Or one more example I told, that is in case you have a server. So, okay, for example, server or your computer or maybe a web server, it can be an application server. It has to communicate through public, right? I open google.com, I open a facebook.com. So that is also in somewhere in the network, right? So I am able to access it because that should be configured with the public IP address. So you need their public IP to get communicate the network. Okay. So for example, one more open. So here is my server in my organization, but it should be accessed by. So we're accessing a lot of websites, applications, this Microsoft Teams. These are all servers connected directly to the public. So if I send a request, they receive it, they will give you a reply. Okay. Without public, you can't able to communicate. But how we are communicating, how other techniques are to communicate is NAT and PAT techniques. In my system or for my server, I configured private IP. But to communicate in the public network means through internet, or maybe to get a communicated from public. Okay, we needed some techniques called a NAT and PAT technique. Network address translation, port address translation. So what is this NAT? It maps your private IP to public IP address. So look at here, guys. This is a small diagram I have done. So where is the best place to try again? See, it is. It's in my organization. So I have a specific servers are there. These should be communicated through public. Okay, either way, they should be communicated either from inside to outside, outside to inside. Within the organization, they communicate with the private IP. But when it communicate outside of organization, it need a public IP. Within organization, private IP is enough. Okay. So what the network people do, they configure a NAT technique here, network address translation. So this is a private IP. For example, it is standard 0.0.10. So when it is sending a request, this is map like this, standard 0.0.10. When it is communicating in the public, it is 20.2.3.5 or maybe 10. So for our understanding. So this is something like a 10.0.0.11. When any request from 10.0.0.11 translate into 20.3.11. So this is paid. This is free. Okay. So how many IP addresses you paid for it? So then that many hosts can communicate at a time. This is called a NAT technique, network address translation. Of course, one more technique is there, that is dynamic NAT is there. I'm not going it. So always remember NAT means network address translation. It maps your private IP to public IP address. So users in a private network can communicate outside of the network. Server in the private network get access through internet. So one to one private, one public IP. So inside, so one private IP address is there. This is one private IP, and it is assigned to one public IP address. You have a 10 private IP addresses. All 10 private IP address should be communicate. You need a 10 public IP addresses. But that is NAT. Okay. So this is an example. Think about in our home or generally in offices. Forget about server kind of stuff. Okay. In organizations, in our offices or in a home, think about in my home. In my home, I have a laptop, I have a mobile phone. In my home, I have a laptop, I have a desktop, I have a tablet, and I have a mobile phone, right? So, and of course, in my family also, there is laptops, desktops, mobile phones, lot of devices. For example, in my home, I have a 10 devices. So to communicate in the network, I need a 10 public IP addresses. I can't buy 10 public IP addresses, right? I cannot purchase 10 public IP addresses. It's very difficult for me. Not only for me, right? The people, the number of public IP addresses also less. Total number is 4.3 billion, but if you remove multicast and reserved IP addresses like class D, some other IP addresses, private IP addresses, very less public IP addresses. So it's difficult to purchase and difficult to availability also. So what these ISPs will do, what they will do, they use PAT technique, port address translation. So what they will do, they need either one or two public IP addresses. To communicate, you need a public IP, not 10, 20 public IP addresses, maybe one public IP, two public IP, three public IP. They'll purchase it. Okay. So for example, this device is for example 10.0.0.10. So it is mapped like this 10.0.0.1, 10, some port number to the public IP. For example, 20.33.4.221. Okay. So like this. So even though some other system it is 10.11, 10.0.0.11. The public IP it is not changing, but port number is changing. So it is mapped using a port number. So this is also called as a NAT overload. NAT overload. NAT means private to public communication, but one-to-one type only. PAT is same as a NAT, but it overload means so multiple private IP addresses and single public IP address. So this is a PAT technique, network address translation, port address translation. One to many to one. For example, I have a 10 computers, 10 computers, 10 private IP addresses. but single public IP. Generally, what happens? Inside your network, you use a private network connect. When you are connecting to internet, the ISP will take care of this NAT translation center. So ISP is taking care of your public IP and the PAT translations also. Okay, so this is NAT and PAT, network address translation and port address. Guys, understand anything?
Yes, sir.
The next topic we will discuss about OSI model. What are the 7 models under? Okay. Okay, just read it. Just 2 minutes. Just read it. Okay, I will ask anyone randomly to read once again. Okay. Okay. Yes, 2 topics are this. So one is OSI model, of course, protocols and port numbers. Whether I should keep TCP, UDP, and troubleshooting also, I will tell network related troubleshooting. Okay, so I am not going to deep explanation of TCP means the OSI model. Just I will try to tell in a normal 1 or 2 major points. But every point is very important. So what is OSI model? Open System Interconnector. It is a reference model. It contains 7 layers. What I say? 7 layers are there. So what is this? But it is called a open system interconnector. It is a reference model. No one is using this OSI model, guys. We are all using TCP IP model only. We're all communicating TCP IP. But not only TCP IP, there is so many other models are there. Like IPS, SPX type of communication, able tag communication. Different network models are there in the world to communicate. All are created by different organizations for their own network communication purpose. This OSI layer make you to understand whatever it is, the type of network it is, we can able to understand it by OSI. We can able to troubleshoot by understanding OSI. Okay, so those things are. So this is contains 7 layers. Anybody? Not any. Yeah, Varun Kumar is there here. Varun Kumar,
Yes,
tell
sir.
me all the 7 layers. It is
Application
all the
layer,
same. Hmm.
application layer, presentation layer, session layer, transport layer, network layer, data link layer, and physical layer.
Very good. Okay, guys. Layers can be some textbooks. If you go to some textbooks, some people will tell from application layer to physical layer. Some people will tell from physical layer to application layer. Maybe you have heard in your college, you learn and you by hearted from physical layer to application layer. If you say that order, no problem, guys. No problem. Okay, both are not wrong. Okay, both are right only. Only thing is you should not interchange the layers pattern. Okay, If in case you say like application layer, session layer, network layer, physical layer, data link layer, presentation layer, that is wrong. Follow the order, right? Either it is 1 to 7 or 7 to 1. Okay. But in generally, so when we are a exact application from a system to system communication, we'll go from top to bottom, bottom to top. So when you're sending, it is top to bottom. When you're receiving, it's a bottom to top. The first three layers, application, presentation, session, are called software layers or a top layers. Last three layers like a network, data link, and physical layer are bottom layers or hardware layers. When I told about this devices, okay, when we discuss about a network devices, like a hub is an example for a physical layer 1 device, because it does not understand any of the MAC address and IP address. It will only works with the bits only. Okay, physical connectivity and bits only. Switch is a layer 2 device and router is layer 3 device. Of course, there is a layer 3 switch is also there. So it can understand the routing part also. IP addresses, VLAN, VTP, okay, VLAN ranking protocols, okay. Like that. So it's not charging. Okay. So these are the totally 7 layers. So, and one more important to learn is here. So protocols and port numbers. I will explain all these layers. I said I didn't explain, but I will try to give at least 1 or 2 points about it. But before that one, so again go for a protocols and port numbers. What is these protocols and what are their port numbers? Guys, already I told when you are communicating in the network, first is you need a physical connectivity. Either wide way or wirelessly, you should be connected. If you cannot connect it, you cannot communicate. So that's the physical part. Second one is both devices must be configured with an IP address. Without IP address, you cannot communicate. So first is physical connectivity. Next is must have an IP address. But communicate means what? What you are communicating? Are you sending a message? Are you pinging? Are you sending a mail? Are you accessing a web browser? Are you sharing a data? Are uploading a data or downloading a data? Okay. Are you monitoring the remote device or connecting the device remotely? So this is different ways of communication is there, right? To communicate, we need a protocol. What type of communication you are doing, that type of protocol, we need it. For example, you are pinging, you are using ping command. Ping command use ICMP protocol. Without ICMP, no pinging kind of stuff. Okay. I'm accessing web browser. So this is a website. Okay. Maybe I will use simple website. My favorite, one of the favorite. So it is HTTPS protocol. What I want to access a website, right? If I put a instead of HTTPS, if I put a FTP, what will happen? It's showing some open picker app, something like that. A website want to open this app like this. Okay. So say, and maybe I want to use SM. It is showing something like this. Okay. Point is, what type of communication you are doing, that type of protocol we are using. Here in this one, PCA, and there is a web server. You want a web page, you want to access a web page from this web server, you have to send HTTP request. In case you send ICMP request, it is a ping kind of reply you will get it. Okay. So for example, the server is file server, or if you send a file server request, but it is web server, so you won't get anything. So two things important: what kind of service it is, what kind of communication you are doing. Based on that, what type of protocol you have to use it. Okay, like this. So what is a protocol? Generally such that is set of rules. But what type of rules it is? Okay, understand what is requested and response from the client and server. Okay, you're sending a request, you receive a response from the server. So how it will understand based on the protocol. So protocols define what type of communication. For example, HTTP protocol, you are requesting for web page. FTP protocol, you're requesting a file server to upload or download a file. SMT protocol, you are like to send a mail, so then it is SMT protocol. POP3 or IMAP protocols are used to receive a mail, retrieve a mail. NTP is a network time protocol. You want to sync the time from your laptop to remote to time server. LDAP or Kerberos or authentication protocol. You put a username and password. So how system will understand you what is your request? This authentication request, right? So authentication protocol. SSH, Telnet, RDP, these are all for a remote access. I want to access remote system. I want to access my remote router. How can I access? Using a protocol. Each protocol having a port number. Okay, protocol for our direct naming purpose, but system will understand in a numbering pattern only, ASCII pattern only. Okay. Here it is, some of the protocols I listed. So you must be remember. If you are not possible, better to buy hard also. At least few, you must know it. Okay. I don't mind whether it is, but if you are in the network, okay, must know what is protocol and their port numbers. It is very useful. Whatever you learn next time, whether it is networking related or cloud related or server related, all these important. So HTTP Hypertext Transmission Protocol port number is 80. Already I said it is web related communication. HTTPS. What is difference between HTTP and HTTPS? That is also important question. Normal HTTP data is not encrypted, but HTTPS data is encrypted. So you are sending a data over SSL secure socket layer and you encrypt the data. So if you are using email accounts or using HTTPS, most of us, our websites are HTTPS nowadays. Earlier, very less HTTPS kind of stuff. Now it is HTTPS because securing. I can able to see my data. Simple guys. WhatsApp. You can see a data. The other person can able to see your message, right? But in between data is encrypted. That's why it is showing end-to-end encryption. The same way, I open a website, I can able to see the data. But when I read it, whatever the data is transmitting from the this particular website server to me, while it is transmitting, data is encrypted. So that's why HTTPS protocol. So what is the difference? HTTPS, so data is encrypted. HTTP data is not encrypted. Same it goes for other protocols. Some are direct protocols, maybe not encrypted, some are encrypted kind of stuff. FTP, you want to upload and download files to the file server. FTP protocol, file transfer protocol, port number is 2021. SSH for remote access purpose with encryption, secure shell, that is 22. Telnet is 23. It is also for remote access without encryption. Okay, of course, you want encryption, you have to add some more things to it. RDP is a remote desktop. Generally, for Windows operating system, you want to access remote desktop of a remote Windows system. RDP is a remote desktop protocol, that is 3389. SMTP, you want to send a mail. SMTP, you're sending a mail It is SMTP, port number is 25, POP3 is 110, and IMAP is 143. These three protocols are related to mail communication, SMTP for sending, POP3 and IMAP are used to retrieve a protocol. TFTP, port number is 69, remote configuration, uploading and downloading of a configuration. For example, you are deploying an application, so we can use TFTP, or you want to back up the configuration, you use a TFTP. Trivial file transfer protocol. DHCP, Dynamic Host Configuration Protocol. We already discussed DHCP. Just what is DHCP? So for your laptop or mobile phones, we are getting an IP address. We are not configuring generally. We are getting an IP address from our uh, home router only. So how we are getting? Inside there is a DHCP service is giving you an IP address. It is assign an IP address to your device automatically. Port number is 67, 68. Why two port numbers? Some are having two port numbers, guys. Even FTP having two port numbers. One from server to client, client to server. One for request, another is for a response purpose. DNS, Dynamic Name Service, it is port number is 53. So if we are opening this site, or maybe we are communicating, we can able to communicate with the names. How can I communicate with names? So you have to communicate with an IP address only. But I know the name, I don't know the IP address of this one. But I want to open the Java T point. So what to do? Nothing, just you type a name. The request go to the DNS server. DNS server will give you the IP address of that javatpoint.com. So who will give? DNS server. How it will understand you are asking for DNS, a name and IP address based on the port number only. NTP, Network Time Protocol, already I told, if you see the time is fixed from here. So it is running the time, right? So it is, this time is fixed by time.windows.com. That server sync my time. Okay. So that is my NTP server. The protocol and the port number is 123. Kerberos is authentication protocol generally used in Microsoft Active Directory services. LDAP is a lot of organization using LDAP services for authentication purpose, including Microsoft as well as Linux-based systems and stuff. SNMP, Simple Network Management Protocol. So it is used for monitoring, checking the systems remote and all. Not only that, other port numbers are there, general port numbers. For example, SQL Server port number. If you are MySQL server, MySQL is 3306. Oracle DB listener number, it is 1521 if you are accessing through network. Okay, Tomcat by default, Tomcat is 8080. 8080 can be used with so many other web-based services, but the default Tomcat server. Okay. So these are the protocols and port numbers. So we'll ask Neeraja. Neeraja, tell me the protocols and port numbers. Just the protocol and the port number. Read from the screen. What happened, Neeraja?
Hello, sir.
Yeah. Read protocol and the port number.
HTTP port number 80.
Very
HTTPS 443. FTP port number 20 and 21. SSH port number 22. Telnet port number 23. RDB port number 3389. SMTP 25, POP3 110, IMAP V4 143, TFTC 69, DHCP 67 and 68, DN
DNS. So I think she has a mic problem. Very good. Right? Even though it is very good, so many port numbers she read. Okay. So guys, compulsory read this thing 1 time, 2 time, 3 time. Okay, IP addresses, their ranges, OSI layer model names. Okay, 7 names are there, and protocols and port numbers. So read 1 time, 2 time, 3 time, 4 time. No problem, because even myself, when I was after my engineering, when I learned this networking thing, one day I'm not able to remember anything. Now I can able to tell anytime, anywhere. So because we read, we teach like that. Okay. Not one time, sir, yesterday just I have seen, so I cannot able to remember. It won't happen. It's simple. You have to keep learning, keep practicing how to write it. Just one line. I will explain things like application layer. Application layer is a top layer of the OSI layer. It's all about an application. Okay, I have written so many things, but simply you want to communicate a system, you need to communicate through some application, right? So for example, I want to access a website. I need a web browser. Without this web browser, I can't open the website. So web browser is a client application. This is my Outlook. So Outlook is used to send a mails and receiving a mails. So I use an Outlook as a mail client. I have a putty. What is this putty? For example, I have a remote Linux machine or my AWS EC2 is there. Okay, I can able to connect through SSH from here. Okay, so I cannot connect that server is closed. Okay, but still I can able to communicate using putty application. Okay, so here it is. FileZilla is an application. MSTCS is an application to connect a remote desktop. So you can try STSC. So sorry. See, it is remote desktop connection application. I want to connect my remote desktop machine. Simply, I'll put their computer name or FQDN, fully qualified domain name, username, and then click connect. It asks for a password. Then I can able to connect. Okay. FTP, I want to download a file from the file server. I can use a application called a FTP, FileZilla or Qt FTP kind of stuff. In a server side also, Tomcat is an application which provide a web pages. Microsoft IIS, NGINX, HTTPD, Apache web server, Microsoft Exchange, Zimbra, so many other there for mail server purposes. Okay, so application layer is all about an application, either client server, servers. What it will do, it will understand what is your request by your protocol and their port number. What are you asking? Are you asking web? Are you asking a mail? Are you asking a remote connectivity? Understand by protocol. Presentation layer will do encoding and decoding data. We can able to see this data directly. We can see directly. We can read, but it contains so many images, thumbnails. So many are there. So, but while it is transmitting a data from the server, okay. So what it will do, it encode the data. It will convert your entire data into ASCII format to low-level binary format. Okay. Compress and decompress the data. So data is in binary, of course. It is a huge size of data. So you will compress the data and decompress the data at the client side, encoding at sender, decoding at receiver. Compressed at sending time, send place, receiver decompress the data. Encrypt and decrypt the data. What is this encrypt and decryption? Already I told I use HTTP encrypt, no encryption. But HTTPS encryption is it will encrypt the data at presentation layer. Session layer will create a session. It will establish the connectivity from your source to destination. It will collect what kind of data when for replying or sending or receiving. It collect the data and what kind of information it is include in the session. So it will create a session and create session ID also. Transport is provide a end-to-end connectivity. Of course, transport layer is a very big one, guys. So transport is main part is segmenting it, chop the data into small pieces, and it will put a number to the each piece, and it is useful for creating order. Error correction is done at a transport layer. Yeah, a good explanation is there. We don't have a time, that's why I'm not explaining. Already have here, that's why. It do flow control, multiplexing and demultiplexing of TCP UDP protocol. Of course, when you say TCP UDP, guys, TCP type communication, see, protocols are there now. So we discuss some protocols and port numbers, right? Certain protocols are TCP type protocol, some are UDP type protocol, some are both. Okay, some are both. So it is the information about how the protocol behaves. TCP type protocol is acknowledgement based communication. It means you send a packet, so destination will receive a packet and it reply with the acknowledgement. Yes, I received it. I send it, so I will get yes, I received from my destination. UDP type protocols are not behave like that. UDP protocols it will send, destination will either receive or not receive. Source don't know. Simply say source knows whether destination is received or not in a TCP type of protocol communication. In UDP type of protocols, so don't know whether destination is received or not. HTTP, SMTP, FTP, SNMP are example for a TCP type protocol. DHCP, TFTP, DNS, these are all example for a UDP type of protocol. Reliable, non-reliable. Why reliable? It is acknowledgement based. Source knows destination is received or not. That's why it is reliable. Non-reliable. Source don't know destination is received a packet or not. Connection oriented and connectionless. Guys, lot of people is mistaken connection oriented and connectionless with the wired and wireless communication. There is no thing is about a wired or wireless communication. It's all about a protocol and the acknowledgement only. Okay. Connection oriented means source knows destination is received or not because of destination send an acknowledgement to the source. Connectionless means source don't know destination is received or not because destination is not sending any acknowledgement. Network layer. So what is the network layer? So it is network layer is handling about your IP addresses called routed protocols and routing protocols called IGP, AGRP, OSPF and stuff. Okay. Data link layer is about your MAC address. Physical layer convert your entire data into physical type of signal, bit stream and signal. So just I'm telling one, 2 points only, not explanation. In data link layer, error checking is happening. Error correction at transport layer, error checking is data link layer. So because it uses ERC, any data is, whenever it is received packet, it verify the data whether it is good or a corrupted data using CRC algorithm. That is called a CRC checking, that is error checking. Of course, physical layer is all about a physical connectivities, how you connect and what type of connectivity. So like Ethernet port you are using or maybe Wi-Fi or maybe fiber optical channels. This is a simple comparison between OSI and TCP IP. Because of this comparison, people think TCP IP came from the OSI. Nothing is came from anything, guys. The original DoD model is now we are writing in TCP model. Actually, TCP is invented earlier, used is also earlier. OSI came later, but just simple comparison. Application and presentation layers are combinedly in one single layer at a TCP layer. So TCP layer, first layer is application, then transport, internet, and network access. Application presentation, all three layers duty done by one single layer in application. Transport is transport layer, network is called the internet layer, data link and physical layer called the network access layer. Okay. So this is about a troubleshooting, guys. Troubleshooting also you can read compulsory the symbols I put it. If you show like this and like this, lights and all, understand if it is showing things. Yeah, you already know IP address kind of stuff. So I will explain only one or two things from it. OSI layer model is very useful to understand how network is working and as well as for troubleshooting also. Okay. So physical layer is all about a physical connectivity. Network layer is all about a IP addresses and routing. The transport layer is whether allowed this particular protocol or not. The presentation layer is all about here SSL, TLS kind of stuff. Means encryption protocol is applicable and not applicable kind of stuff. Okay. Session layer is so continuation of session means when I'm transmitting a data or receiving a data, I'm downloading something. Network is still interrupted. So maybe session is interrupted, it is terminated automatically, or it should be continuous even once it is restored the network. This is session layer will do try that. Application layer, what kind of application you are using? Application side of issue. Okay, all these things you'll keep it side. Simple, guys. I open a page. So someone shared a link. I open a page like this. Now I got what is it? 404 page not found. I got a error called a page not found. What is this page not found? This particular page is not available at server. This particular page not available at server. So it is not a network issue or internet issue or IP address issue. It is not at all. Everything is good. No need to start from the connectivity. No need to start from the connectivity. It maybe it is like because the page is not available at server side. It is server related issue. Okay. You got a 404 error. Remember that one. Troubleshooting number one. 404 error. Okay. For example, something website I open. So it is trying to get something. I open freshly. See, it is, I got it. This site cannot be reached. Okay, it is showing server IP could not be found and something showing it is. Okay, ERR name not resolved. Okay, you can click on details also. You'll tell what to check in your system. So there is certain website is showing like that, but others website are working, right? So I open W3 Schools. It is working good. So where it is the problem? Either the site name is wrongly you are entered, or maybe the site is not available. Because you are verified that your internet is working, no need to troubleshoot internet. Only thing is you can understand where is the problem. Okay, where is the problem? So either it is this URL problem, or maybe the server is available earlier, now it is not connecting. Some issue with the server side only, not your side, because now your side other things are working. That is one more point. Okay, so this is completely application, OSI application side on it. Okay, next, I try to communicate. Already I showed that one now. So command. So I am trying to communicate to some one of my next device. I think of um, something random. Okay. So I got a reply from my source system, not a destination system. See, it is 189, it is 68. It means I am not getting reply from my destination. So it means destination server is not available, or maybe an IP address is wrong, or maybe uh, the destination is the device is disconnected currently in the network. Okay, already we know. So check the IP address. Are you typed correct IP address? Check the connectivity of destination system. Check the device IP address properly. These three things you have to do it. Destination host not reachable. Request timed out. Request timed out. This is also not request timed out. So yesterday we tried something new, like that is we'll try. Now we got a request timed out. For example, this IP address is in my local network. It's in my local system only, but I got a request timed out. Device is available, but I'm getting a request timed out. So what is the problem? Either the firewall, I checked the system is available, it is connected, IP address is also correct, but I'm getting a request timed out. So where is an issue? The firewall is blocking your part. Either it is organization wise, organization related firewall, or a system firewall. In my system, my firewall is blocking that one. So what to do? Somewhere written. So this is go to the control panel and go to Microsoft Defender firewall. So turn off the firewall. It is not recommended to do it. It is not recommended to do it, the turning off the firewall. So if you do not want to turn off the firewall, if you turn off the firewall, you turn off the protection. So what you can do, you can allow this ICMP echo request into your inbound rules of firewall. In advanced settings, in inbound rules, add the ICMP. Simply, I click on new rule and select a predefined. In the predefined, I have things are there like yeah, program port are predefined and custom. So you can select port and allow the ICMP protocol like that. Predefine which protocol you want to allow. I think I didn't add that points. Okay. Yeah, here it is simple. You got a 404 file system, or you are able to communicate to mail communication. So thing is, it is a application layer related issues. Encryption. So I this is a HTTPS website. I try to open with HTTP. Still no problem. Generally, it is don't it automatically redirect to HTTPS only. But if you have some HTTP website, you open with HTTPS, or sometimes certification issue is there. Some website you open, immediately you'll get a unsafe. See, you'll get like this unsafe kind of stuff. Do you want to continue on that? In this type of things, you got it. Okay, your connection is not private. It is unsafe browser, unsafe access, back to safety, go to details, yellow access, that kind of stuff. Make sure you open a genuine website or not. If it is testing purpose in your organization, it is okay because it is still it is in a testing, not completely valid SSL certificate. Okay. But in generally, if you open some link, someone is shared a link, you open it is showing unsafe, better not to open it. Okay. So it's may danger because it is suggestion, don't do it, better not to do it. Okay. Yeah. Transport layer, where I'm exactly, I'm in a firewall first of all. Okay. So you got a request time dot from your local system and you try to ping it, but you got a request time dot. It may be a firewall related issues. Okay. So before you try something, also check it, your system connectivities. So this is no connection, error connection, no internet connection, no Wi-Fi connection. See, and you are connected to where the LED blink status also indicates whether you are connected or not. Okay. And also, if you go to the control panel, then you can also see this cross mark indicates you are disconnected from. So cable problem is there. Sometimes it is disabled. Okay, your adapter is disabled and you are unable to communicate. So what we will do? We'll get a right click and enable it. It is cross mark means disconnection. If it is showing gray color like this, not the blue like this, it's gray, it is showing it is a disabled. So you have to enable it. Right click and enable it. Second one is, guys, remember, I keep telling just slowly. So device manager. So what is this? I have an adapter is there, IP address is there. Everything is good, but no communication. You cannot able to ping something is there. Okay, there is a possibility. So you have check the firewall, you check everything. Firewall is also good. Even though you turn off the firewall, still no ping request is not happen. So what will happen? What to do? So there is a one more possibility is your drivers are not good. In that cases, go to the control panel, go to device manager. I will show you that. Go to the control panel. This is the device manager. In a device manager, find out what is your adapter. So right click, go to the properties, drivers, uninstall the drivers. This is uninstall the drivers. Click on uninstall the drivers and then restart your PC. No need to do anything. Just uninstall the drivers, restart your PC, and the drivers will reload again and it may work. And also observe here it is the driver's details, the working on that. Okay. So one more is, so you tried everything. You check the IP address, you check the connectivity, you check the LED status of connectivities, no cross mark or no disable kind of stuff. IP address is also you feel it is good, or maybe IP address is not getting, that is also one problem is there. So what to do? You check everything, but still there is some network connectivity issue or communication related issue, either connectivity or communication issue. You can reinstall the drivers. How to do it? Go to control panel, go to device manager, click on your network adapter, right click, properties, drivers, uninstall. Okay, uninstall. After uninstallation, simply restart your PC and try it once again, check it once again. So these are the network troubleshooting. Some most of things again and I repeated. Yeah, of course. Yeah, one more is there, guys. That is API address. You open a your network adapter. So for example, this is network adapter. Currently, you can able to see it is static IP. No problem. It is showing static IP. Just in case. I'm not touching my original adapter. That is internet connectivity. If I touch it, I will get a problem. This will be disconnected. Okay. For example, I want to get an IP address from DHCP server. So I select obtain IP address automatically. If when I select this one, you can observe there is a tab called tab is open here. Automatic private IP address. What is this? Alternate configuration. Obtain IP address automatically. If you are unable to get it, assign IP address APIPA automatic private IP address. Or you can choose user the configuration. So I will show you this first. With first option is first option is this. Okay. It is trying to get an IP address from the DHCP server. Either for this adapter, any DHCP server is connected, it try to get that IP address. But actually, IP address is not connected. No DHCP server is connected to this particular adapter. So what it is doing? Okay. So DHCP enable means it is trying to get an IP address from DHCP server. It's trying to get it from DHCP server, but it is showing 169.254. So it is a APIPA address, automatic private IP address. If you got an IP address like 169.254 something dot something, it is error, it is issue, it is an APIPA address. Why we are getting this address? Device get configured assigned IP address either by manual or so you assign an IP address or it should get automatically. It means you should get an IP address from DHCP server. Again, why I'm getting this one? If I'm failed to get an IP address from DHCP server, our system will assign an IP address from APIPA range, automatic private IP address. Okay, based on your MAC calculation, these two are will be assigned. But this one you see it is APIPA automatic private IP address. So why you are getting automatic? So normal IP address you will get like this. A DHCP enable is a proper IP address, subnet mask, default gateway, DHCP server address, and DNS server address. But if you fail to get an IP address from DHCP server, how you will get it? DHCP enable yes, but APIPA address auto configuration IP address 169.254. There is some class B subnet mask, no default gateway, no DHCP server address, no DNS server address. So can you understand? This is the APIPA range. Within that range, IP address is there. So that is a issue. So what it is? Check the connectivity. Check the connectivity of your system. Check the connectivity of DHCP server. Restart the DHCP services if you are able to do it, or restart your router if in case this happened to multiple devices. Restart your DHCP router. You know the router configuration, then also check the DHCP configuration in router. If possible, I will show you that one. Remind me on Monday, that is how to check the Wi-Fi configuration. Okay, so go to disable and enable the adapter. Okay, so you can do like this, like try disable the adapter, okay, and enable the adapter. Of course, anyway, it won't work. It is okay, it won't work. Okay, no DHCP server is connected to this one. Or you can use a command called ipconfig /release to remove the IP address in adapter. ipconfig space renew will try to get an IP address from DHCP server. Okay, this is how to troubleshoot APIPA issue. Okay, automatic private IP address. I think I covered everything. Okay, guys, these are network related issues. Okay, once again, go through the network related issues also. So what are the different issues? Connectivity related, communication related. So how can you understand it is physical connectivity as it is an IP address related, APIPA related, or server related? So you have to establish your theory. So when you get an issue, so where to check it? That is very important. Okay, depends upon your observations. Is it a firewall related issue or drivers related issue? You have to understand and judge properly. So that one you need a proper. Okay, read. Anything, any doubts? Hmm?
No, sir.
No doubts. Okay, compulsory read all the networking, guys. If possible, I will share a link tomorrow to conduct a test. Okay, on networking. And I will add some more things to it. Okay, after some time to this particular file, so you can read it from it. So after networking, mostly Monday I will start the this service desk only. So yeah, service desk only after this. I will add our entire service desk part to your current running nodes. Compulsory read tomorrow and day after tomorrow. So Monday I will discuss the service desk. Okay,
Okay, sir.
that's it for today, guys. Please read entire networking. What are the portion be completed, and what I am going to add to that your class. Okay, and I will share the videos yesterday and today. Today I will share it. That's it for today.
Thank you.
Thank you. Compulsory read, guys. Time is very less for. Bye. I'm ending the meeting.
Bye, sir.